There is one person your soul keeps remembering, even when your mind begs you to forget them. And that is what makes this kind of connection feel so strange. You may go through your day like any other person. You may work, speak, laugh, eat, sleep, and carry on with the ordinary rhythm of life, but somewhere beneath all of it, their energy is still there. Not always as a thought. Not always as a desire. Sometimes, it is simply a presence. A quiet pull in the chest. A sudden memory without a trigger. A dream that feels too real. A wave of emotion that arrives when nothing outside you has changed. And then the mind begins to ask, why am I still feeling this? Why can I not move on? Why does this person still live somewhere inside me, even after all this time? But listen carefully. You are not weak because they still cross your mind. You are not broken because you still feel them. And you are not losing yourself simply because your soul recognizes something your human mind cannot fully explain. Many spiritual traditions describe twin flames as two souls, or two expressions of one deeper soul pattern, meeting in human form to awaken something profound within one another. Whether a person understands this literally, symbolically, or energetically, the experience itself can feel unlike ordinary attraction. Because a twin flame does not simply enter your life. They turn on a light in a room of your soul you did not know existed. And once that room is lit, you cannot pretend you never saw it. This is why the connection can feel so different from ordinary love. In normal relationships, time often softens the attachment. Distance creates a natural forgetting. The pain may be strong in the beginning, but slowly, life fills the empty space. New conversations replace old memories. New routines calm the nervous system. The mind begins to release the story. But with a twin flame experience, many people describe something else entirely. They say the awareness does not fully leave. It changes shape, yes. It may become less painful. It may become quieter. It may stop controlling the day. But somewhere, in the deeper field of consciousness, the person remains. And this is where most people begin to misunderstand what is happening. They assume the constant thought means they must act. They assume the emotional pull means they must chase. They assume the intensity means they must fix something quickly, before the connection disappears. But true soul recognition does not disappear just because the mind is afraid. A soul bond, if it is real, does not require panic to keep it alive. The mind panics because it believes love exists outside of you. It says, if this person leaves, love leaves. If this person rejects me, I am rejected. If this person is silent, I am abandoned. But the soul knows something far deeper. The soul knows that love is not something you earn from another person. Love is a field. Love is a frequency. Love is the original language of who you are before fear taught you to beg for proof. And that is the painful gift of the twin flame path. It brings love to the surface, but it also brings fear to the surface. It awakens the most beautiful parts of you, the devotion, the tenderness, the recognition, the feeling that something sacred is moving through your life. But it also awakens the parts of you that are terrified of being left behind. The fear of abandonment. The fear of being unseen. The fear of being forgotten. The fear that you felt something so powerful, but perhaps the other person did not feel it the same way. And when these fears rise, they can become very loud. They can dress themselves as intuition. They can sound like guidance. They can whisper, send the message now. Check their profile. Look for another sign. Replay that conversation again. Find the hidden meaning. Do something, or you will lose them. But fear is not the same as intuition. Fear is urgent. Fear is demanding. Fear makes the body tight. Fear says, now, now, now. Intuition is quieter. It is clear. It may guide you toward action, but it does not make you feel desperate. It carries peace inside it, even when the step is difficult. This difference is everything. Because many people on the twin flame journey are not truly following intuition. They are following anxiety that has learned spiritual language. And that is how the loop begins. The chaser fears being abandoned. The runner fears being consumed. But both are reacting to the same sacred fire. The chaser reaches because silence feels unbearable. They want the conversation, the explanation, the apology, the return. They believe that if the other person would just say the right words, the storm inside would finally calm down. But beneath the reaching, there is often a deeper wound saying, "Please choose me, so I can finally feel safe." The runner moves away, but not always because they feel nothing. Often, they run because they feel too much. The intensity touches places inside them they do not know how to face. So they distract themselves, deny the bond, choose distance, or bury themselves in practical life. But beneath the running, there may be a wound saying, "Please do not make me feel something I cannot control." So one moves forward, one moves away. One asks for closeness, one asks for space. One fears being left, one fears being swallowed. And yet, both are standing before the same mirror. That is why blame does not heal this path. Blame only keeps the mirror dirty. The deeper truth is not, "They are wrong, and I am right." The deeper truth is, "This connection is showing me where I still believe love can threaten my peace." And once you see that, the journey begins to change. Because then the question is no longer, "How do I make them come back?" The question becomes, "How do I return to myself so deeply that I stop abandoning my own soul?" This is the turning point. Many people believe surrender means giving up. But true surrender is not defeat. Surrender is when you stop fighting reality long enough to hear what your soul has been trying to tell you. It is not saying, "I do not care anymore." It is saying, "I care, but I will not destroy myself to prove it." It is saying, "I love, but I will not chase from fear." It is saying, "I remember, but I will not live trapped inside memory." And this is where peace begins. Not because the connection disappears, but because your relationship with the connection changes. Imagine holding a small floating object underwater. Its natural movement is to rise. You do not need to teach it to rise. You do not need to push it upward. You only need to stop pressing it down. Your soul is like that. Peace is natural to the soul. Love is natural to the soul. Wholeness is natural to the soul. But fear presses down. Control presses down. Obsession presses down. The need for immediate answers presses down. And sometimes, even spiritual practices become another way of pressing down. You meditate, but secretly, you are waiting for a sign. You detach, but secretly, you are hoping detachment will make them return faster. You say, "I am choosing myself," but inside, you are checking whether choosing yourself has affected them yet. This is not something to be ashamed of. It is human. But it is not freedom. Real peace has no hidden bargain. Real peace does not say, "I will be calm so they come back." Real peace says, "I choose calm because my soul deserves rest." If this message is touching something deep inside you, subscribe to Starlit Union. This space is for those who feel deeply, love deeply, awaken through connection, and are learning how to return to themselves without closing the heart. Now, let us speak about something practical, because the soul journey must still be lived inside a human body. When the thoughts are too loud, when the emotions are too heavy, when you feel as if you are checking, waiting, hoping, spiraling, and losing yourself again and again, you may need a detox. Not a dramatic ending. Not a punishment. Not a statement made from anger. A detox simply means creating space from the things that keep triggering the wound. Stop checking their profile. Stop rereading old messages. Stop asking everyone what their silence means. Stop searching for hidden signs every hour. Stop feeding the part of your mind that is addicted to uncertainty. This does not mean the bond was false. It does not mean you have stopped loving them. It does not mean the connection is over. It means your nervous system needs air. And sometimes, the most spiritual thing you can do is stop touching the wound. You cannot hear the voice of the soul when the mind is constantly reopening pain. So give yourself space. Return to your breath. Return to your body. Return to the simple life in front of you. Drink water. Walk slowly. Sleep properly. Clean your room. Write what you feel, but do not turn every feeling into a decision. Sit in silence, not to force an answer, but to remember that you exist even when they are absent. This is how your energy begins to come back. And when your energy returns, you stop being only a reaction to them. You become a whole presence again. This is true magnetism. Not pretending you do not care. Not playing games. Not trying to become mysterious so they miss you. True magnetism is what happens when your energy is no longer leaking into fear. It is the quiet glow of someone who has stopped begging life to prove their worth. And the beautiful thing is, when you become more whole within yourself, you also become clearer. You can feel the difference between a soul nudge and an emotional panic. You can tell when action is inspired, and when action is only a desperate attempt to calm anxiety. Inspired action feels clean. Fearful action feels heavy. Inspired action may still make your heart beat faster, but underneath it, there is steadiness. Fearful action feels like, I must do this, or I will lose everything. That is how you know. And slowly, the connection stops being a prison. You may still feel them, but you are no longer controlled by every wave. You may still love them, but you are no longer using love as an excuse to abandon yourself. You may still wonder what will happen, but you are no longer postponing your life until the answer arrives. This is maturity on the twin flame path. Because the real purpose of the journey is not to make you chase another person until they validate your soul. It is to make you remember that your soul was never invalid. It is not to prove that the connection is real. It is to make you real with yourself. It is not to keep you waiting in pain. It is to awaken the parts of you that forgot they were powerful, whole, and deeply connected to the divine. And perhaps this is the most important part. The person you are thinking of is not the source of your light. They may have awakened it. They may have reflected it. They may have opened the doorway. But the light itself belongs to you. That is why it hurts so much when you give all your power away. You are not only missing them. You are missing the version of yourself that appeared when the connection opened you. The alive version. The sensitive version. The mystical version. The version who suddenly believed life was not ordinary. But you do not need to lose that version just because the outer story is uncertain. You can keep the awakening and release the obsession. You can keep the love and release the fear. You can keep the soul lesson and release the self-abandonment. And when you do, something inside you begins to settle. Not because you finally control the outcome, but because the outcome no longer controls your entire being. This is where the journey becomes sacred again. Not dramatic. Not desperate. Not full of signs that keep you awake at night. Sacred in a quieter way. Sacred because you are learning how to love without gripping. Sacred because you are learning how to feel without drowning. Sacred because you are learning that the soul does not need to scream to be real. One day, you may look back and realize they were not sent into your life only to be chased, missed, or mourned. They were sent to wake you up. They were sent to show you the places where you had forgotten yourself. They were sent to reveal the difference between attachment and love, between fear and intuition, between longing for union and becoming union within. And one day, the thought of them may no longer feel like a knife. It may feel like a bell, a reminder, A quiet signal from the deeper part of life saying, come back to yourself. Come back to your soul. Come back to the love that does not abandon you. Because the greatest twin flame lesson is not, how do I make them choose me? The greatest lesson is, how do I stop leaving myself while waiting to be chosen? When you understand that, your energy changes. Your breathing changes. Your choices change. You stop moving from panic and start moving from presence. You stop asking, what are they doing? And begin asking, who am I becoming? And that question is far more powerful. Because the person you become through this journey is the real miracle. Not the message. Not the reunion. Not the sign. The miracle is the moment you realize you can love deeply and still be free. You can remember them and still live. You can feel the bond and still choose peace. You can honor the mystery without becoming lost inside it. So tonight, if their name rises in your heart, do not fight it. Do not worship it. Do not build an entire story around it. Just breathe. Let the memory move through you like wind through trees. Let the feeling pass through your body without turning it into a command. Place your hand on your heart and remind yourself, I am here. I am whole. I am safe to return to myself. And then return. Return to your breath. Return to your body. Return to your life. Return to the quiet truth that love was never meant to make you disappear. It was meant to bring you home. And perhaps, when you finally stop chasing the connection outside of you, you will begin to feel the deeper union that was waiting inside you all along. Because they were never the end of your journey. They were the doorway. And you, your awakened self, your peaceful self, your soul-led self, you are the destination. If this message found the hidden part of your heart, like this video, and subscribe to Starlit Union for more soul-deep reflections on love, awakening, energy, and the mysteries that live beyond ordinary understanding. Take care of your energy, honor your heart, and remember, the love that is meant for your soul will never require you to abandon yourself.